Hey YouTube, welcome back to my channel. This is Canadian Retro. I've got another pickups video for you here. I picked up quite a few things actually. Most of it was today. There's only one item from the other day. So I basically went around to quite a few stores lately and just haven't really found a whole lot that was worth picking up. I made a few somewhat questionable pickups today at one location. I probably shouldn't have went on a few items. Just hadn't been finding things recently, and I felt like all that driving around I had to pick up something. So that's sort of that part of it. Now there's some really stellar stuff in here too, and some pretty decent deals on some fairly valuable games here. So I'll get that stuff sort of at the end because that was actually the last thing that I picked up today. So let's get started. This is the one item that I found a couple days ago. This is at a Value Village, and Value Villages are notoriously now pricing their games awfully, but fortunately they're still charging the same amounts for their controllers, and this one here was $4.99, and if you can't tell what that is in the bag there, it's a black Xbox controller. It's in really good shape. It just needs a little bit of a cleaning. There's a slight bit of wear maybe around some of the buttons and stuff, but it's actually pretty decent. It does work. I don't have any batteries in it right now, but it does work, so I did test that out. Well, at least I know it powers on. I haven't synced it with a system, but I'm assuming it should be perfectly fine because it was doing its little search thing or whatever when I did that. So, you know, decent shape, not too bad. Maybe a few scuffs and things like that here and there, but overall for $5, another black Xbox controller is pretty awesome. When I took it up to the counter, the guy was pretty amazed to see it there, and he just thought that, you know, it was a really good deal, obviously, and he's an employee there, so he was, pretty happy for me to have found this in the store or whatever. He was saying that, he was trying to find PS3 controllers, and they're still outrageously priced and stuff like that, so pretty cool to pick up a recent generation controller like that for $5, that's for sure. Moving on from that, I walked into a Goodwill today, and I saw a few games there. They have quite a few. They're getting a huge backlog of games because they're not doing their Tuesday sales anymore. They're still basically charging the same price for the games, so they're charging about $5 a game. And the color of the week, most of those games have basically been picked over by that point, so there's nothing really left there worth $5. So they're going to definitely be backlogging, or whatever you like to call it, their games and things like that. There's a ton of them there now, and unfortunately they're all just like sports titles or really common titles, but I picked out a few different things here I thought were interesting. The first one here is Atari Anthology for the PlayStation 2. I think I already have this in my collection, but this one's in incredible shape. Really beautiful actually. It's complete even though the manual's in there backwards. Maybe I'll just fix that right now. But the manual is, I'd say, pretty much mint, and the disc is very good as well. It may be a little dusty, but that's always cleanable, and the case is in great shape and everything like that, so I just didn't want to leave that behind. That one there I paid $4 for. Thought it was reasonable. I know it goes for a little bit more than that, nothing stellar or anything like that, but still pretty wicked right there. The next one I picked out was Ultimate Spider-Man. I'm trying to remember if I have this on the Xbox. If I do, then I'll probably end up selling this copy of it. But I really do, if I don't have it on the Xbox, I definitely want to get it on the Xbox because this is an awesome game. Again, this one was a little bit more. It was $5, but still pretty awesome right there. I do enjoy Spider-Man type games, and like the other one, I think it probably came from the same person because although the French manual is fairly trashed, the English manual and behind it is in really good shape for the most part, and then the disc here is fairly decent. There's a small sort of scratch on there, but hopefully I can figure something out around that. So pretty cool nonetheless for $5 to pick up this one right here. And then the final one, which nothing major, but it is a box Genesis game. I didn't have this one boxed in my collection. I think I probably have it loose though. Wouldn't surprise me if I did. Is Sega Sports World Series Baseball 95. And they had another Genesis game there as well, but I just left it behind because it wasn't really anything special. It was one of those golf type games or something. Nothing I was really interested in. And it comes not with the manual, unfortunately, and it looks like the inside, I don't know if I'll have to take that apart or something, but they're sort of moving around the inside, so this is not really set up right inside right now, so I'll have to take that sort of apart and put it back together right. Hopefully everything's there to keep the cartridge in place. Cartridge is in the world's greatest shape, but it is decent, so, you know, I don't think I actually have this game in my collection. I'm trying to remember, but still, nonetheless, pretty neat. And I only paid $3 for it, so I wasn't going to leave that behind. The next thing here, I actually went to the other Goodwill, and they're not ridiculously pricing their games yet, for the most part. They're still like $4 and under. For their CD-based games, they're actually charging a couple of dollars, which is really nice. It might just be the one person that's doing that though, so I'd have to check the consistency, because they don't actually put the prices on these things. But when I took it up to the counter, she only charged me $2 for Metal Gear Solid, which is kind of funny because I actually traded this game away at the Waterloo show just recently. I didn't trade it away, actually I sold it to J-Rock. So there it is. I got it back again, and I also have another copy of this game, so this is again, double for me. This one just has some fingerprints on it, but the discs on this one are absolutely perfect. But just like the other copies I have, for some reason of this game, you can never find a copy with the manual in it. And this one's lacking its manual too, but for $2, that's a pretty wicked find right there, I'd say. And I'm trying to remember what happened next year. Yeah, okay, so walked into a Value Village, same one that I found the controller at the other day, and I found a system which was sitting on the shelf. Kind of interesting, because you usually don't bag things that go on the shelf, but it's a Nintendo Wii. Alright, so the first thing that's in the bag though here is the actual console itself. It's in pretty decent shape, a little scuffed on the top, but I always find them like that basically. It does have the door, which is great. Everything looks pretty good. It's actually quite clean for the most part. I mean, it's still going to need a bit of a cleaning, but overall, pretty good all around. Inside here, there was no SD card. I really was hoping I might be able to find one. It's always nice to see what's in there. And I did try to eject. Sounds like there's something rattling around in there. I did try to eject a disc or anything. There's nothing in there, so there's no game that came along with it. But still, pretty cool nonetheless. I did turn it on in the store, so it did power on and everything like that. I think I'll probably just end up trying to mod this one. I've never actually modded a system before. I do have a modded system. I don't really use the mod on it, but I know if you mod one of these, you can kind of sell it for a little bit more. So I'll probably end up doing that. And then it also came with and untangle this mess here, but has the AV cord, and I'm not going to untangle it right now. Power supply as well. The stand, which is lacking the plastic circular part. And then finally, a sensor bar. So that was everything that was in the bag. And for that, I paid $30, so I thought that was a reasonable deal. I don't think it's a great deal, but pretty good for getting a system. I think if I mod that, I'll probably easily be able to get my money back plus some. So that's pretty awesome right there. Moving on, because it was sort of a slow day. I mean, really, I found, you know, a couple of games and that system. The system's really nice and everything, but I already have one, so it's not that big of a deal to me. But I stopped in at the pawn shop just because I had a little bit of extra time, which is right next door to the Value Village, so it wasn't a big deal to stop in there. And I actually found a few titles that caught my interest almost immediately. The first one here is a Genesis title. I love picking up Genesis titles, so this one is definitely something that I didn't have in my collection, so I figured I'd go for it. And it's Beavis and Butthead for the Genesis, obviously, and then I paid $5 for it, so it's pretty cool. Totally complete as well. Manual's not in perfect shape, but it's in there and everything. And like I said, I didn't have that in the collection already, so I'll have to check it out. I don't know a thing really about this title. I never played it back in the day, so we'll have to see. still for $5, picking up Genesis, so that's pretty cool. They had a couple other Genesis titles, like Sonic 2, obviously, but it wasn't boxed, and they also had a copy of California Games, and I don't know if I'm going to go back in there and pick that up or not, because it was $5, but it was loose. If it was complete in box, I probably would have picked it up, but we'll see about that. And then the next things that I picked up, a couple of GameCube titles. They must have got a few GameCube things in, and nobody's totally picked them over yet. So the first one here is Sonic Adventure DX Director's Cut. And I think I don't have this game in my collection until this very moment, so that's pretty cool. And the disc is in reasonable shape. It's in pretty good shape, actually. And for that there, I paid $8. It's the Player's Choice Edition, but I don't mind. And $8 was the cost on that one, so I figured, why not? Moving on from that, I also picked up a copy of Sonic Adventure Battle 2, or Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. So that's pretty awesome right there. And again, that was $8, just like the other one, so they don't really seem to be pricing things that much differently. Like, they're not, I've noticed in there in the past, like, they sort of have individually priced games, but now they're sort of lumping their prices together. And this one here is in reasonably good shape too. It's not too bad at all. So that's awesome, and it's also complete. So wicked kind of thing going on there. That's that. Now, somebody must have brought in a pretty decent Game Boy lot here, because there's some items here that are decently priced. They're not great prices. If you're buying them retail, they'd be great prices, that's for sure. So I'll get into that right now. The first one here is Pokemon Silver, which I haven't tested yet, so I don't know if its saved battery works. Same with all the ones that I'm going to show you here, but hopefully it does. That would be pretty cool. The front of it's not in perfect shape. The label's a little bit messed up, but still it's all there, and for that there, I paid $10. So, you know, decent deal for Pokemon Silver, that's for sure. Locally, people are asking like around $20 for that, so, you know, half of that price is going to that. The next one here is something I didn't have in my collection, and I don't know if I'm going to hold on to these Pokemon things again. It's just, I keep saying that, and I haven't really unloaded any of it yet, just because I really want to save it for trading for something that I really want to get, and I know people desire these games, so I'm kind of waiting for like someone to have something that just blows my mind so that I can trade off and kind of get the things that I want. But this one here, like I said, I didn't have in my collection already. It's Pokemon Sapphire. Yeah, so like I said, don't know a whole lot about it. The price is the same as the other one, so $10, and definitely worth it. So that's pretty cool right there. And then finally, the last one, which I do believe I have in my collection already. And again, gotta test save batteries and all this kind of stuff, but we'll see. It's Pokemon Crystal version. And again, that one was $10, so pretty cool. A little Pokemon-y kind of day at the pawn shop. You know, $30 for all of those is actually a pretty good deal, especially locally around here. Those games are going for quite a bit. People are asking outrageous prices for them, so that's pretty good right there. That's everything that I got recently. Thank you again for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do feel free to thumbs up this video, comment down below, and I'll see you all later.